Now, showing on the Property Show.
Welcome to Grand Spaces this week. Grand Spaces is that segment on the Property Show that brings you unique, inspiring designs from residential to commercial, the hospitality industry, and of course into the world of what the healthcare would look like, or other spaces that actually do inspire what our spaces ought to look like. I had an opportunity to be able to visit the Top Draw 2023 in London at the Olympia, and it was such an amazing experience, and I thought that I would share with you some highlights of what took place at the Top Draw. Now, the Top Draw literally is an event in the United Kingdom that features creativity and passion when it comes to the design stories of each sector. And of course, they look at different aspects of what design is about: interior designing, the retail trade and industry. But one of the first things that fascinated me was the architectural designs of some of the monumental structures in the United Kingdom. And some of these are actually quite very old structures that were set up in the medieval times. And they tell quite so much about the history of architectural designs in how we've been evolving. And those are some of the shots that I was able to capture on the outside of the structure. And of course, on the side, there's new structures coming up, but this was a structure that's been maintained and modified over the years. And I think it's high time. Kigali has already embraced the culture. Nairobi has followed suit. Dar es Salaam, Uganda, Burundi, Congo, of course, South Sudan are still behind in terms of how we can move aggressively forward in terms of how we evolve in architectural and structural designs. Now, right from appreciating what the structural design looked like at the Olympia, I had an opportunity, of course, to walk in and see what the setup looks like. Now, one of the other gaps that we have in our market presently is indoor halls that are built in environments to be able to have showcase space for different aspects of whether it's entertainment, retail, exhibitions, expos, runway shows. The production team led by Wasaja will be able to take us through some of those images. Just take a look at some of those images that showcase to you the different ideas of what, when you look at the structure on the inside that is suspended with all the steel work, and that gives it such a functional approach, but as well maintain its aesthetic beauty. And of course, that was the Top Draw. And when you look at the arrangement of what was taking place in their community of creative buyers through the doors of Olympia London, ready to source for the season ahead. Now, this was, of course, the exiting of the summer season into the wintry or winter season. And of course, it attracted design-led brands from across the United Kingdom. And this was very captivating. The atmosphere was very engaging. But also what I need to emphasize was the high levels of innovation and creativity in the products that are available for consumers, for home use, for hotel use, the residential use, hospitals. Simply phenomenal. And the standards that were being showcased were high up there and indeed much to the name Top Draw. What's our take home from today's Grand Space? I just want to encourage everybody out there, the developers out there, that it's high time we rethink our designs versus form, functionality, and of course the evolving trends of what designs ought to look like. Sorry to say, but most of the structures in Kampala, in Uganda, you walk into them, they have no story to tell, no culture. There is nothing to write home about them. Even with the hotels, guess what's exciting, by the way? In the coming weeks, we shall be showcasing to you some of our remarkable countdowns, right from the top 10 hotels in Uganda to the top 10 luxury properties in Uganda, the top 10 affordable housing projects in Uganda, the top 10 low-cost housing projects in Uganda, and more. That will all be on Grand Spaces. And I hope you enjoyed our sneak preview in terms of what was happening in the top drawer and what we can learn from it as interior designers, as architects, as engineers, as city planners, and ultimately for the developers out there. And yes, there's a market for such facilities, and it's high time we rethought in that direction. Then we shall be positioning Kampala, Uganda, to be a destination for such international events or continental events. Just remind you, Grand Spaces is here to tell your interior designing story, and we have a team that is armed with the latest and best innovative ideas in as far as how we can transform your property, give you the best interior designing, and present to you a project that is befitting of your money. And let's enjoy more on The Property Show.